Hello and welcome to Soccer Good Games. Just finished West Ham United 1, Bournemouth 0. The Hammers are into the next round of the Carabao Cup. Now, I think this is one of those games where you have to separate the result from the performance in order to be happy. I am happy we are through. When it comes to cup games, only thing that's important is that your name is in the hat for the next round. I always say it about cup competitions. I said it under Moyes, Pellegrini, Slaven Bilic. The only thing that counts is who goes through. However, you do have to discuss, well, you don't have to. I want to discuss the performance, and it's something that's going to take into consideration. So I'm happy with the result. I'm glad we're in the next round. And I think a large part of me for being calm at the minute, or calmer, is that A, that we've won, and B, it's only his third game in charge. Because I didn't particularly enjoy that throughout the 90 minutes per se, but that's what we're going to discuss. If you're new to Hammers Chat, please do subscribe and also drop a like on the video as well by clicking thumbs up. Both things are free, helps out the channel, makes me very happy. Plus, it's my birthday. I've been stitched up, but it's I'm not being stitched up because I told everybody it's my birthday, so you can give a little clicky of that for my birthday. I'd appreciate it a lot. Just tune me up a bit. Anyway, in regards to the actual match itself, then we'll discuss what it means for West Ham. The first 20 minutes or so, I thought it was pretty poor, to be honest with you. I thought it was a bit hoofball from West Ham. I thought Todibo and Fabianski in particular were possibly the main culprits of it. However, not necessarily completely their fault. There was just a lack of options. We were struggling to get the ball moving up the pitch in the first 20 minutes on the deck. And it felt quite sideways and backwards. And eventually it felt like it was going to Todibo or Fabianski. And one of those would go long and try and find Füllkrug or Souček. And I wasn't very impressed, truth be told. Now, it was a game of low intensity. The tempo was pretty low. It had a bit of a pre-season vibe to it, in my opinion. It just felt like poor game, poor quality from both teams. Bournemouth weren't much better, but I thought they were the better side for the first 20 minutes or so. But I was disappointed by what I seen from us, truth be told. Now, towards the end of the first half, I thought we grew into the game a little bit. I think certain players grew into the game for West Ham, and it started to make a bit of a difference. We only had one shot on target in the first half, and that was an effort which was ambitious from Füllkrug, which was a header from about 12 yards or something. It was behind him. He did well to get his head on and keep it on target. But there was little to rave about as a West Ham fan. However, I do think in the last 10 minutes of the first half, we were starting to create something and get down that left-hand side in particular. I thought Wan-Bissaka looked quite bright. And there was that nice touch by Füllkrug to Somerville, but he blazed over the bar. And at half-time, I think the biggest positive for me was that it was only 0-0 and we weren't finding ourselves a goal down. But I thought it was a scrappy first half and one that neither side particularly dominated. But there was an element of disappointment there for me, if I'm honest with you. I was hoping to see more and I was hoping to see better. However, it was only his third game. I think that was stopping me from getting too worked up to some extent. But I wasn't best pleased by what I was seeing from West Ham, truth be told. Now, the second half kicked off, and I think we got even worse to some extent. I think they started really dominating the second half, and Evan Nilsson came on at half-time, and he just made a significant difference immediately. And Mavropanos was struggling to keep up with him. And I'll be honest with you, after about 10 minutes into the second half, I was thinking this is just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before they score. They were on top and they were really probing our defence. Our defence was by far the busier of the two in the second half. And I thought Bournemouth fans might have been disappointed they weren't leading at this point, but they certainly looked like a goal was coming. But Lopetegui decided to make a couple of changes. He brought on Rodriguez and Paqueta, and it helped a little bit. We got a little bit better. We started to have a little bit more of the ball. But the opportunity to play the ball out of defence was now on. However, we were still going quite long. Now, I don't mind a long ball. I don't mind it. A long pass. I don't mind a 40, 50-yard ball out the back. But tonight, I just felt like it was a bit more hit and hope or really bad passing, whichever one you want to do it. And they were all culpable. Todibo was culpable. Soufal was culpable. Mavropanos came on. He was just as bad. Kilman, not so much. I thought he had another good performance in the West Ham shirt, which was pleasing. And while I'm coming across as grumpy, there was some good players that played for West Ham tonight. but I just felt there was perhaps some players that didn't, but also the team, the team just didn't really. I'm going to say it. I felt like I was watching last season's West Ham just with some new players. I genuinely felt like that in the first hour of the game or something. I felt like I was watching last season's West Ham, but we just had some new signings in the team. I didn't really notice too much change. It was just passing it around at the back, going backwards when putting the pressure, and then just going long and losing possession. And it just felt like another Bournemouth wave was coming. But we made the changes. We started to grow into the game in the second half once those changes were made. And I wasn't against them. We needed to do something. I think Alvarez might have been a planned substitution. It was pretty much bang on there where he went off. I think he had a good game, Alvarez. I thought he really grew into the game in the first half. I thought he was the one player that was looking to get the ball from the defence and play it rather than go long. He was possibly a man of match tonight. It was for a West Ham player, probably him and Kilman were the two. Wan-Bissaka, actually, Fabianski had a good game as well. So there were, like I said, there were some good performances, few and far between, scattered amongst them. We brought on Kudus. He went over onto the right-hand side. Jarrod Bowen went up front. Fulcru came off, who struggled to make much of an impression. Felt a bit sorry for him, feeding on scraps, but didn't win the majority of the aerial duels. However, I do feel like he got a little bit of the Andy Carroll treatment from referees. Andy Carroll used to just win a header, and the referee was like, oh, well, free kick because you've won a header. And felt like Fulcru got that on a couple of occasions tonight where he got a little bit physical with the defender, and they were both at it. But the referee just constantly kept showing favour to the Bournemouth player against him. So I think physical striker can sometimes just bring unnecessary fouls against him, and I think that was in the case of Fulcru on a couple of occasions tonight. We got the winner though, a late winner, and a very controversial one as well. And if you're a Bournemouth fan, you're going to be absolutely fuming, because on Sunday I think their goal should have stood. It got chalked off for handball, and I think it hit him like there, which, you know, when you see the images of the rules of the handball, it doesn't stop there. It stops down there. For me, I thought it should have stood. I didn't think there was enough conclusive footage to rule that goal out from VAR. So I think Bournemouth got robbed against Newcastle. A legit goal got ruled out by VAR for handball, and tonight they've conceded a goal from handball that would have been ruled out if there was VAR, but there isn't in the Carabao Cup at this early stages of the competition. Kudus got the ball, took a shot. I think it would have been going wide, hit Jarrod Bowen on the forearm, deflected past Neto, and he ran off celebrating, and the linesman didn't spot it, referee didn't spot it. A few Bournemouth players spotted it, but there's nothing they could do. No VAR in this competition. Now I'm gonna say something too. I quite enjoyed not having VAR tonight. Now and again we get a little dabble of it, not having VAR. It's not too often we get games without it now, but when you do, you can celebrate that goal knowing it's not going to be ruled out. It should have been ruled out if VAR was in place. I've got no doubt it would have been. Unlike the Bournemouth one, I think eventually there was conclusive footage that struck Bowen on the forearm, so it was a handball. I've got no doubt about that, and it was very lucky. But I'd be lying if I said I cared too much because it's in favour of us. I'm not that bothered because I wanted us to win, and we've gone through. And it's not like he's punched it. His arm is in close to his body, and it struck him there. If anything, Bowen's unlucky it hits him in the arm. He doesn't really do anything wrong. He's not trying to cheat. But Bournemouth fans, you've had a difficult few days with the handball and VAR. I think you've been mugged off twice actually now. Once by VAR and once by no VAR. So got a bit of sympathy for Bournemouth fans, but I'd be lying if I said I had a lot. I'm a West Ham fan. I'm going to be selfish. I want us to go through. That's how we went through an illegal goal in football. But we got the win in the end. I'm relieved. I wanted to win, and we did. However, I was just expecting a little bit better. Thank you, James. Thank you very much for £2 super chat. James says, thought Wan-Bissaka and Kilman were great tonight. I completely agree. I think those two and Alvarez were the three players for me that stood out with positive performances. There was too many just not great or very limited. For example, I don't think Soufal had a bad game. I just think he was neat and tidy, just very limited. I think Ward-Prowse was neat and tidy in possession, but just sideways and backwards. No creativity, no adventure. Was contributing, I feel, to the lack of progression through the middle of the pitch. He'd get it and he'd give it back to get it from Kilman, give it to Debo. I thought we got better when he went off. That's never a good sign. And I always think a compliment to a footballer is when you go off and the team gets worse. But let's flip that around. When you go off and the team gets better, and I think we were calmer with possession. I thought we got better with the ball. Once Ward-Prowse and Alvarez went off, and Rodriguez and Paqueta came on. Souček. This is what you're going to see, I think, with Souček under Lopetegui, where there's going to be games where he's just completely ineffective, but Lopetegui will keep him on just because he might pop up and do something. No opportunity for him tonight, so he didn't make an impression on the game. So, Fabianski also, sorry, I thought Fabianski had a good save. Fantastic save at the end of the first half from Utara. Incredible shot by him, by the way. Really, the way he reacted like a standing scorpion kick, but superb save by Fabianski, and also took one on the head from Tavernier's shot as well. I think he had a really comfortable game. Still a little bit Fabianski at crosses and frustrates me with his distribution, with how keen he is just to go long all the time. But in terms of shot stopping, I think he was busy enough tonight, actually, and stood tall, and I think he was important. Some big moments from him today. But anyway, we're into the next round, so I'm happy that we are. But yeah, the performance was poor. I'm not gonna pretend I thought we played fantastic. I don't think we did. I think we played better against Crystal Palace. And I think against Villa, I think there was spells where we were the better side. Whereas tonight, I don't really feel like there was one period where we were completely on top against Bournemouth. For a handful of minutes we were, but it soon flipped round. The last 5-10 minutes, I thought we were the side looking to go and get that winner. But yeah, I thought it was quite a fair game over 90 minutes. If anything, I thought Bournemouth might have edged it a little bit. So I feel relieved. We got off with one a little bit tonight, but we're in the next round of the cup, and ultimately that's all that matters in cup competitions. Right then, the draw, give me 1 second. The draw is in about 15-20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live now for a little watch along, and we're going to have a little chat in live chat. So any thoughts you've got on tonight's game, we'll have a little discussion, and then I'll be back in the morning. But because people can't always join at 9 a.m. in the morning, especially on a Thursday, which is understandable, I'm going to stream on this channel in 15 minutes. I'm going to go live at 10:15. So if you're kicking around, come and join me. We'll see who you want in the next round, see who West Ham get, and we'll talk about how the Champions League teams and the Europa League teams can't be drawn against each other. And I know the reason, but I'm still not convinced it's a legitimate reason. I'm not having this one, the Premier League cartel being kept apart from each other in the third round of the Carabao Cup. I'm not having that one. Anyway, please do join me. But if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. It's my birthday. Yes, I'm blackmailing you, but please do drop a like on it. Subscribe to Hammer's Chat. I'll catch you in a bit.